Hello, and welcome to day 1 of the 7-day Fast Start series. Today's lesson is all about mindset. So I'm going to go into what mindset is, the difference between a growth and fixed mindset, and also talk about the negative feedback loops of fear and positive feedback loop of confidence and taking action. So at the end of this lesson, I want you to have a really good understanding about what exactly mindset is. Recognize if you are currently sitting in a fixed or growth mindset. And I also want you to be able to identify those things that are holding you back right now, fears that may be stopping you from taking action on things that you know you need to do in order to achieve the outcome or goal that you're looking to achieve. And I also want you to have a action plan that we're going to work through together that is going to get you to commit to taking those actions in order to achieve those goals. So to start off, what exactly is mindset? Mindset is really a set of attitudes or beliefs or outlook on life that's held by someone. Now, that is really kind of the definition of what mindset is, but there's some fundamental issues with that definition, and I'm going to explain why. So it says that mindset is the established set of attitudes held by someone. Recognize those words being held and established set. So that is kind of insinuating or suggesting that our mindset is set, that our mindset cannot change, that it's kind of this thing that we just need to live with. As business owners, we need to really step into having less of a fixed mindset, which is more for the masses, more for the people that don't believe they can achieve anything great, and really step into that growth mindset. A growth mindset is really believing that you can achieve anything that you want, but you just know that you have to put in the work to learn the skills to actually be able to do that thing. It also means you know that you're constantly evolving and growing, and you love the process of progressing and learning and becoming better every single day. As a business owner, you have to love learning, growing, and what I always say is that really in business and in life, we need to have a constant, never-ending, consistent improvement mindset. And really, growth mindset kind of encapsulates all of that. So let me just give you an example of how this kind of plays out in business. So if you are looking out into the entrepreneurial world and you think that there are a lot of people that make it look easy or they seem like they've had overnight success. So there's 2 distinguishing factors of anyone who has achieved something great in their life or achieved some level of success. The number one thing is that they took action. Without action, you cannot do anything. If you're waiting for everything just to fall into your lap and not willing to put yourself out there and take those actions that you must take in order to move forward and achieve those goals, you are not going to get anywhere. Taking action is the number one thing that you need to be comfortable, confident, and consistent with so that you really progress and get closer to where you want to be. The second is that they didn't give up. Anyone that tells you that business is easy, it isn't easy by any means. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. It doesn't have to be super hard though, but there are going to be ups and downs. Like everyone is going to experience those. But the difference between the people that have succeeded or achieved some level of success is that when they have seen those drawdowns, seen those troughs and peaks, and they understand the ebb and flow of life and business, is that when things get hard, they didn't give up. It's pretty simple, right? They took action and they didn't give up. So if you look at those 2 things, taking action and not giving up, I want to ask you, do you think that mindset had anything to do with that? Of course it does. It has everything to do with mindset. They took action and they didn't give up. As long as you do those things, you're going to have some type of progress in life. You're going to get somewhere. Even if you fail 1,000 times, like if you just kept trying, kept taking action, you didn't give up, and you failed 1,000 times, you would still be 1,000 steps ahead of someone who didn't try at all. And guess what? Every single time you go through that process, you become more confident in your abilities to step out of your comfort zone. You build a stronger mindset. You're more resilient. You learn, you experience things, you develop new skills, all of these different things that even if after 1,000 times you haven't got exactly where you thought you would have gotten, the only other option is to sit and not do anything at all. So what would you choose? Would you choose to be in exactly the same position in 12 months' time? Same income, same lifestyle, same everything? Or would you choose to have 1,000 lessons, 1,000 experiences, and potentially you could have succeeded from one of those 1,000 times? Likely that you are. With that many lessons and that many efforts and taking that much action and not giving up, you are so much more likely, or actually it's not even in comparison to not doing anything at all. Doing anything at all or risking failure, I would always choose risking failure, but that's a mindset, and you cannot be afraid of failing. You cannot be afraid to take action. Now, going back to growth mindset and fixed mindset. So we want to have a growth mindset in life and business. We want to always be focusing on learning, growing, progressing, developing, learning new things. But let me just compare these two, right? Because a fixed mindset is quite common. If you are already in business and you have an entrepreneurial spirit, then chances are you probably already have some type of growth mindset. But if you're just getting started, or maybe you are just aspiring to have a business, or you want to create some financial freedom, financial independence, or change your lifestyle, or make more money, or whatever it is you are like aspiring to be something, you're seeing or you're envisioning your life to have more potential than what it's at right now. But the difference between being able to get there or not is literally in your ability to take action and believe that you can. So someone with a fixed mindset has kind of these thoughts or ideas and beliefs running through their head. Either I'm good at it or not. So that suggests that you are kind of either naturally born with a skill or you're not. If you're not, there's no chance that you could learn or improve or get better. That's just who I am. I can't change it. So they believe that they have a set personality. They have set traits. They have set abilities again, or set skills, and there's no way to change. The next one is, if you have to work hard, you don't have the ability. So they see things as, again, that you should just be good at it or you're not. So if you try something and you're not good at it at the beginning, they don't see that as an opportunity to actually learn new skills or get better. They see it as, well, I'm not good at that. I'm just not going to do it because I'm afraid of failure. Which brings us to my next point. So if I don't try, then I won't fail. That is such a fixed mindset that if you are even having those thoughts, you need to get those out of your head right now, because that is literally the foundation of a fixed mindset, is that if I don't try, then I won't fail. Of course, if you don't try, you won't fail. But if you don't try, you won't succeed either. So again, going back to taking action and potentially failing, or staying exactly where you are right now, that is a choice that you have to make. And this is one that's just too common. Look at your life, look at your business right now, and I'm going to go more into this, and we're going to actually do an activity around actually setting out exactly what fears we need to push through in order to take more action. But I want you to start thinking now about something that you aren't doing right now, that you know that you need to do, and I guarantee there'll be a few things. think about why you aren't doing those. It's because you're afraid of like potential negative outcome. You're afraid of failing, and that's okay. But we need to just recognize that and push through those things to a degree, obviously. Like, we want to make sure that the actions we're taking are intentional. So when we go through the activity, we're going to actually set out what we want to achieve, how we need to get there, the actions that we need to take, and why we're not taking them right now. And then we're going to work through those. But this really goes to show that a fixed mindset is dynamic as well. You can have a general growth mindset with some fixed mindset traits, but we need to recognize those and then work through them. Now, the last one of a fixed mindset is X is totally out of my league. So these are limiting beliefs, right? Not thinking that you are worthy of something. Okay, so say that there is a luxury hotel and it costs thousands of dollars a night. Instead of seeing something like that and feeling inspired and saying or believing, if it's aligned with your values, that, you know, one day you will be able to stay there, or one day that's the kind of resorts or hotels that you'll be staying at because you'll be at that level at this time, right? Just for an example. Instead of seeing it as something that you could achieve if you wanted to, believing in yourself, not having those limiting beliefs, someone with a fixed mindset really thinks that they'll never get there. So they really, really believe that. Now, comparing that to someone with a growth mindset, firstly, I can learn to do anything that I want. Like, how inspiring is that? Just to know deep in your soul that whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve. Like, as long as you just take those actions that are going to lead you to that outcome. This is really powerful because it really opens up so much opportunity in life when you really believe that, like, whatever you want to do, you can do. It's just a matter of learning. There's nothing out of your league. There's nothing that you cannot do. But when we recognize that we're having any self-limiting beliefs, we really need to catch those and actually look at them objectively and say, why am I having that thought? And then, like, reframe that into, no, I can do whatever I want. I can learn to do whatever I want. So we're just switching these ideas and these beliefs and these mindsets. We're reframing them. We're recognizing and then reframing. You see a thought come into your head, I can't do that, I don't have the skills. Look at that objectively within your mind, within your mindset, and reframe it. You have conscious control of your thoughts. I really just want to make that really clear. Now, the next one being, I'm constantly evolving and a work in progress. So someone with a growth mindset really believes that in X number of years, weeks, months, whatever it is, they will be ahead of where they're at right now because they're an evolving work in progress, and they put in the work to themselves because they really believe that they don't have the limitations that a lot of people have, or that a lot of people think that they have, right? They're constantly evolving, constantly learning. They see themselves as a project or work in progress, always evolving, always improving, always getting better, learning new things. And that's exciting. Like, to see that every day in life can have an opportunity for you. Everything that you do, you can get better at, achieve anything that you want to achieve. Like, that's really powerful. The more you challenge yourself, the smarter you become. So again, you know, same thing. Taking action, putting yourself in, or getting comfortable, being uncomfortable and getting out of your comfort zone, challenging yourself, you get smarter, you get more resilient, you get better at the things that you want to get better at, and you get closer to achieving the outcome that you want to achieve. I only fail when I stop trying. It's true. Now, of course, there's going to be situations where you have to stop, even though you don't want to. There may be something external that happens that is literally life-changing and you have to stop, right? But stopping because things get hard or challenging, or you're not feeling inspired, that is either because you're not motivated enough, so perhaps what you're doing isn't actually aligned to your long-term goals and values, or you're just afraid of what might happen if you do the thing that you need to do to keep moving forward. So usually it's one of those two reasons. With great challenge comes great reward. So instead of seeing the challenge as hard, difficult, a negative thing, you just have more optimism about what's actually possible. So what happens is when you have that fixed mindset, you're kind of living in a state of fear, right? That's really the dominating emotion that's going on here. And if you try and start a business out of a place of fear, a place of lack and insecurity, then of course what's going to happen is you're going to get lack and insecurity back. That is because you're going to be making decisions from a place of fear. You're going to be afraid to take risks. You're not going to want to mess up. So you're going to really be not putting yourself out there or not comfortable, confident, and stepping out of your comfort zone. You'll wait for everything to be perfect because, again, you don't want to mess up. And you're not going to be as open to opportunities. You're going to get everything back that you are putting out. So lacks, insecurity, fear, not wanting to mess up, no opportunities, waiting for everything to be perfect. Putting that energy out, you're going to get it straight back in. So you can't expect to be achieving great things when you're putting those negative thoughts and ideas out. Now, if you go from a place of a growth mindset, loving the process and really just having that attitude of growth and prosperity and success, then guess what you're going to get back? You're going to get prosperity and success back, because someone with a growth mindset, someone that has an attitude of prosperity and success, is going to make decisions from a place of confidence, and they're going to see everything as an opportunity to learn. So they're going to be putting themselves in the way of opportunity because they want to learn, they want to grow. They're going to take action despite the possibility that they may fail. And again, going back to taking action is that you'll be 1,000 steps ahead of someone who doesn't. So we've got this fixed mindset person, they're not taking action, they're afraid, they're not taking risks, they're not seeing opportunities. And then this person is taking action, they're learning, they're trying different things, they're pushing forward. Then of course they're going to be so much further ahead. But with an attitude of growth and prosperity, you're also going to attract other prosperous and successful people. So when you surround yourself with people that help build you up, that you aspire to, then you're going to be more inspired to take those actions and see what's possible as well. So surround yourself with people with a growth mindset is another important factor of all of this, because really you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you spend all of your time with people with a fixed mindset, you're going to end up having a fixed mindset. They're going to pull you down. If you surround yourself with successful or inspiring and growth mindset focused people, you're going to step up to that level and you're going to be more inspired as well. So the reason that this really works in terms of really setting and reframing your mindset into more of a growth mindset and having that attitude of success, prosperity, letting go of fears, getting out of your comfort zone, making decisions from a place of confidence, is because our mindset determines our thoughts. Our thoughts determine our actions, and our actions determine the outcomes that we experience. So everything comes back to our mindset. It really is the foundation of everything that we do in business and life. Our mindset is so powerful. So I want to just reiterate what we've gone through so far. The first is developing a growth mindset is imperative to your success. The second is what I just said. Our mindset determines our thoughts determine our actions, and our actions determine the outcome. That's why mindset is so important. And the third is if you are not taking action, you cannot expect to get the results or outcome that you're looking for. If you're not taking action, you cannot complain about not getting any results or getting the outcome that you're looking for. It's just as simple as that. So all of these things come back to being confident. And when I talk about being confident, it's not about being egotistical or thinking that you know everything or you have all the answers. It's just that deep-seated self-belief and that growth mindset to know that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to or that you just learn the skills to do. And the opportunities are endless. If you aren't confident right now, the opposite of confidence is fear. And fear and confidence work in these two cycles. So what you really need to do is break through those fears and replace it with confidence. And the first step to actually understanding how to do that is to know how fear and confidence actually works. It all comes back to that action taking. If you don't take action on something, you are not going to learn the abilities. You're not going to have the experience, and then you're going to be afraid of taking action because you haven't learnt those lessons that you would have along the way. When you do take action, you develop the abilities and you gain the experience to be confident in that action. So instead of thinking, I'm not confident to take this action, think I'm going to take this action so that I'm confident in these abilities and gain the experience, and I'm not afraid of the potential negative outcomes that may be experienced. I'm more focused on the positive potential and opportunities of this action and really setting my mind to what it is that I'm trying to achieve here. So really important, when you are afraid, when you don't feel confident in an action that you need to take, just remember that the actual cycle itself starts with action. When you take action, you learn new abilities, you gain experience, and you become more confident and comfortable stepping out of your comfort zone and trying those new things and taking that action in the first place. If you never take action, you will never know what you're capable of. And when I think about it and put myself in that growth mindset, I think that there is nothing more scary than me being in the same position in 1 to 5 years. So whatever it is that I'm facing, the fear that I have, that is not as bad as my fear towards the potential that I may not progress, that I may not achieve my goals, that I may be in the same position in 5 years' time. That scares me. So we can actually use fear to our advantage sometimes. But when it's little fears that are just self-limiting beliefs, then you definitely have to break through those, and it all starts with action. So what I want you to do now that we're at the end of this lesson, you should have a good understanding of the difference between a growth and fixed mindset. You should also understand the cycles of fear and confidence. I want you to start actually looking at your life and your mindset right now. And I want you to start just by going through a quiz, which I'm going to put in the comments here. It is a growth versus fixed mindset quiz. This will just ask you a range of different questions about what your outlook is on life right now. It will tell you if you have a growth or fixed mindset, or give you a kind of indicator of where you're at on that scale right now. If you are closer to the fixed mindset side, let's start working through that. Let's start reframing your mindset into a growth mindset. That starts with recognizing where you're at, what's holding you back. The second exercise that I have for you today, after you've understood whether you have a fixed or growth mindset, is a worksheet which I will also put in the comments here. What I want you to do is open this worksheet, save a copy to your Google Drive, or you can download it as a Word document if you prefer. You'll see 4 rows here, the first being what you want. So this activity is all about identifying what it is that you're wanting to achieve in the next, say, 3 to 6 months, what you need to do to actually achieve that, identifying a self-limiting belief or a fear that may be stopping you, and also putting into place an action plan, what you're committed to actually doing to make sure that you achieve that outcome. So row 1, write down a goal or outcome you would love to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months. For example, you might say that your goal in the next 3 to 6 months is to completely book out your business with one-to-one clients. So now that we have that goal clear in our mind and we've got it on our sheet here, I want you then to identify what you need to do that you are not doing right now in order to get what you want. So it might be things like showing up on Instagram daily, engaging with your audience. For everyone, it's going to be completely different depending on what your goal is. Now, the next section here is self-limiting beliefs. Now, is there a reason you are not already doing the thing that you know that you need to do to achieve that goal? I know that you know deep down why it is, but if you aren't too aware of it right now, just really sit and think about, why aren't you showing up on Instagram daily? Why aren't you engaging with your audience? And if you're still not sure, like, you really have to dig deep to find the answer, because it will be deep down there. There is no reason why you wouldn't be doing what you know that you need to do to achieve that thing that you want more than anything else that you would love to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months. There will be something that's holding you back, and that's going to be a self-limiting belief or a mindset or a fear about, for example, with the example that we have here in the sheet, you're not showing up on Instagram daily, you're not engaging with your audience. Could that potentially be because you're worried about what people think? That you think you're not experienced enough, that no one wants to listen to you, that you're afraid of looking stupid? Like, be honest with yourself. And then moving down into the next section being action plan, I want you to write in how you will commit to taking action on those things, your developmental needs, in the next 3 to 6 months. So for example, it might be to create a social media schedule. This might include 2 mini lessons a week and 1 hour engagement daily. Writing this down and committing to taking those actions will keep you accountable. And I want you to go ahead, once you've actually filled in this sheet, and go into the group, introduce yourself, let everyone know you're doing the 7-day fast start series, and let them know that you are committed to taking these actions over the next 30, 60, 90, 120 days to really make you or keep you accountable to achieving that outcome. So we don't need to go and eliminate every single fear that we have in business and life all at once, but this is just a really good place to start. Understanding what you want, what you need to do, why you're not doing it right now, and then committing and staying accountable to exactly what it is that you want. Taking action on those self-limiting beliefs. There is nothing more motivating and fulfilling than when you break through a fear, a self-limiting belief, and see what's on the other side of it, and then realizing there was nothing that you should have been afraid of at all. Then that's really inspiring. But you're always going to come across these things where a fear pops up, a self-limiting belief pops up. But the more you break through these barriers, the more comfortable you're going to get actually stepping out of your comfort zone. So when you experience these fears and self-limiting beliefs come into your mind and into your life, you're going to know and be more comfortable. And again, you're going to learn the abilities and experience and be confident breaking through them, which makes it so much easier to actually keep progressing and helping you achieve those goals easier, faster, and more effortlessly. So that's it for this lesson. I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself to the group. Let everyone know you have started the 7-day fast start series, and tell us what you want to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months and what you're committed to really putting into action over that time. I would love to support you, and I want to see you break through those fears, get confident, and achieve your goals by reframing your mindset, stepping into that growth mindset, and getting into that flow of confidence. In the next lesson, we are talking about how to actually find your best client, and I'm going to give you some strategies about how you can actually do that. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.